for me. It was my first time, and I remember it like it was yesterday. It happened about 18 months ago, and this was about 3 months after I had left my comfortable corporate job and decided to go out on my own and start my own coaching and consulting business. I was at Panera Bread, where all good consultants go, having lunch with my friends, and I got the call. My friends knew. They got up from the table so I could take the call. I got the job. It was my first big consulting gig. And it was so important to me because I was this close to giving up. Giving up on my dream, giving up on something that I've wanted to do for the last 10 to 15 years. When we see value in ourselves, that's when we will invest in ourselves. I see this problem that's so common among the people that I coach and so many people. They get stuck, right? Think about where you are today. What are your dreams? What are the things that you want to be doing? Are you doing those today? Or is there something that's holding you back? There's something very common that holds most people back. Imagine this. You go to a luxury car dealership and you go buy your ideal car. Maybe it's a Porsche 911, or for me it's a Shelby green with white stripes. You bring that car home and I come up to you and I say, here's $5 for that car. You would laugh at me because you know that leather-seated, those surround sound cars worth way more than that. You would never settle for that. You'd kick me out of your house, as a matter of fact. But how do we value ourselves? Do we settle for $5 careers, $5 lives, and sometimes even $5 bank accounts? What gets in the way for us is we're not clear about what we're worth. We have to ask ourselves, what are our strengths? What are the things that we really are good at? Are you good at maybe strategic planning? Are you good at organizing events or organizing yourself? Are you good at innovation? Do you really thrive on challenges? What are those things that you do that are unique? Until you get clarity around that, really clear about what makes you special, what makes you unique, you're not going to really realize your value. And you are priceless. You are unique. There's no one else like you, like a Mona Lisa or a Jackson Pollock. You have to understand your values so that you'll invest in that value yourself. But who do you see when you look in the mirror? Do you see that powerful woman, that person that can do anything, that has unique skills and strengths to bring to the world? Or do you see someone who's broken, someone who only has weaknesses? What we think about ourselves really matters. What we tell ourselves really matters. You need to see that powerful person that you are. But what is your potential? Take a minute right now, and if everyone would just stand up. And I want you to reach as high as you can. Reach as high as you can right now. As high as you can. Now reach 1 inch higher. 1 inch higher. Thank you. That was amazing. If you could see it from up here, everyone reached higher. I asked you to give me all your potential. But you held something back. What are you holding back right now? We can always give 1 more inch. We can always do 1 more thing, right? Once you understand your value, your self-worth, and your potential, that's how you can move forward. So how do you really understand your self-worth? What are some steps that you can take? That first step is to guard your self-talk. If I talk to you like you talk to yourself, what would you think of me? Would you welcome me in, or would you kick me out the door? The things that we say are so powerful. I coach executives around the world and find themselves saying things like, I can't do this. I'm not good at this. This is just something that is impossible for me. Well, of course it is, because you're saying and believing that it's impossible for you. But what is potential? Think of potential like a lamp. You put a 25-watt bulb in a lamp, and you're going to get low light. But you change that bulb to that lamp that has the same amount of electricity coming in, same lamp to a 200-watt bulb, and that light is amazing and much brighter. We are the lamp. The electricity is the potential. It is unlimited. If you want to change your results, change your thinking. Your thinking is the bulb that you put in that lamp. If you want to get more potential, get a better bulb. Stop comparing yourself to anyone. I catch myself doing this all the time. I'm much more conscious of it now than I was. But we all look at others and say, why did they get this? As a consultant, I might look and say, how come they got that opportunity and not me? And I have to stop myself and say, wait a minute. My whole purpose is to help people see and grow their potential, not to win everything myself. If you're going to compare yourself to someone, compare yourself to yourself. Start today. Take an inventory. Where are you? What are your strengths? Where is it you want to go? And then look back 30, 60, 90 days so you can really see what your growth is. And you need to be intentional about that growth. But please stop comparing yourself to others. We typically do that if we want to make ourselves feel good, right? Say, wow, I'm better than that person. Or we want to make excuses like, oh, it's much easier for them. They had all these opportunities. That's why they won. Right? So stop comparing yourself. Compare yourself to yourself. You're your best measuring stick. The third thing is to add value to others. What are the things that you can do to make other people feel good? Do volunteering. I do a lot of volunteer opportunities. Sometimes it's coaching or speaking with different groups because I want to just add value. I want to just change one person's thoughts. You can add value by maybe mentoring someone. Maybe just calling someone that you haven't talked to in a long time and tell them what they mean to you. Tell them how much you appreciate them. When you add value to others, you are adding value to yourself. And you know, there is a scientific fact that there's a psychological response when you help others. It releases dopamine, and dopamine is that feel-good drug. And when you get that dopamine because you're helping others, you are feeling better as well. So that's an easy fix, easy thing to do to help you grow in your potential. The last is to move beyond your own self-limiting beliefs. We all get stuck here. What you believe about yourself either propels you to greatness or it keeps you stuck. It keeps you where you are. Peace Pilgrim said, if you realize the power of thought, you would never have a negative thought again. It is so powerful. This is something that has really changed my success and how I look at things as well. Really looking into my belief systems. There's a great quote that I want to share with you. And the world will never put a higher value on you than you do on yourself. Jim Rohn said that. That is so true. Right? Are you putting a $5 value on yourself? No one will ever pay more. Have you ever paid more than the ticketed price of anything? I hope you haven't. We start there and we negotiate down. Raise that price. Put 6 or 7 zeros behind that $5 bill. I want to share a couple of stories as well about potential because this may really make it come to life when it comes to beliefs. There was a study done with 40 golfers, and they all had about the same level of expertise in golf. They split them into 2 groups, and they told the first group, they had the putter all lined up, and they said, first I want you to tell me how big you think that hole is. What do you think the diameter is of the hole? And then take 10 shots. And they took 10 shots each. The second group, the same thing, except when they handed them the putter, they said, this is the putter of professional golfer Ben Curtis. Now measure the diameter and take 10 shots. They took 10 shots And they found that those who were in the group that thought that they had Ben Curtis's putter, saw the hole as 9% bigger, and they made 32% more shots, just because of what was told to them. And there was another study done at the University of Chicago with college students. They had 30 college students, and they had each of them shoot free throws. They measured how many free throws they could make, and they said, okay, over the next month, group 1, I want you to practice an hour a day shooting free throws. An hour a day. Group 2, I want you to just visualize yourself shooting free throws for an hour. See yourself doing it. See yourself successfully making it. Group 3, I don't want you to even think about this, which is kind of easy for college students, right? Just go on your day, come back in a month. So they came back and they had them shoot free throws again, and they found that the group that practiced for an hour a day improved 24%, right? Practice is important. Group 2, the group that only visualized themselves, improved by 23%. Because the power of the mind, they saw themselves do it. Group 3, there was no difference. So we know that our beliefs have really big impacts, just like this tree. If you think of your thoughts and your beliefs as the roots of this tree, they have been there for a long time. We start creating beliefs when we're maybe 3 to 6 months out of the womb. Everything we surround ourselves with, people we surround ourselves with, it changes our beliefs about ourselves and our beliefs about others, our beliefs about what we can do, and they're very deeply rooted. And they didn't get there overnight, and you can't change overnight. But your beliefs impact the fruit that you're able to show, right? Your beliefs drive your thoughts and your behaviors. And it's really important to understand what those beliefs are and drive forward, because a negative thought can really impact your potential. There are small steps that you can take to really be successful, to really make a difference. The tree doesn't grow overnight. Potential's like a seed. You have to plant it, but take one small step every day. It's like compounding interest. Amy Duke shared on my podcast, Brain Hacks for Leadership, that she talked about when you focus on personal growth every day, just take one small step. It's like compounding interest. You're going to grow and look back in 30, 60, 90 days, and you are going to be someone who you don't even recognize anymore, because those small steps make a big difference. Couple of small things that you can do. One, maybe it's a self-reflection journal every day to see, what did I learn today? Who did I value today? What did I do with that? Or maybe it's taking stock and inventory about, where do I want to go? How am I going to finish this year? Where do I want to go next year? I'm just launching a program about finishing strong this year and getting ready for next year. But you have to be intentional. You got to get clear about who you are. You got to get clear about where you're going. Because if you're not clear about where you're going, then anywhere will do. But I know that there's more for you, and we have more for you. This is one of my favorite quotes. A man's mind, once stretched, never goes back to its original convention. Every time you learn something new or try something new, you don't succeed the first time at anything. Maybe by chance or luck you might. But you're going to grow. You're going to stretch. You're going to be a different person. And what I hope is that what I've shared with you is going to help stretch your mind a little bit so you can grow. So don't settle for a $5 life or a $5 career. You're much more valuable than that. You are so unique. Time is finite. We have one life. Live at large and unlock your potential.